All right, everyone. Hello and welcome to Moto 2 for HRL IndyHog round number 9. Last round of the October stop of the season that I've been looking forward to from the early recaps. Been pretty good so far, and ending it out on a track that I was really excited for, in particular with Watkins Glen here at the end. So left to right for this race is going to be Real Deal Armada, Camby Hunter, Roman Soul, Slaunch Luke, and Detail bringing up the rear, and we're going to switch it up, do something we haven't done in a while, do a little onboard camera starting action. And here we go, green flag again, 33 checkpoints, 16 laps for the race. And this first sector, and probably this entire first lap, going to be very fun to watch. A little bit of Dukes of Hazzard action with Hunter on the left there. And here we go. Potentially a big dive being made on the inside from Luke there, but not going to happen. It's going to be multiple 2 wides into the inner loop. Everybody's got to try to keep it clean. Even a 3 wide for a moment at the back. Oh, contact. Hunter, aggressive battling at the front as well. But everybody does a pretty good job, for the most part, keeps it on track. So good job to the field there. But here we go. Last few turns, Hunter goes for a big dive. He's on top of Slaunch. And they're all kind of on top of each other. That 3 wide right there. And here comes Soul and Luke with a big run behind. I think Soul backs out of it. Luke's going to set it to the inside. We're going to have a 4 wide down the front stretch. Who is going to get cheesed into the first turn? And a few drivers, Hunter and Slaunch, go off the track, but they're still going. The lag is still cheesing, though. And it finally gives way. Real Deal and Hunter, oh, that's going to be brutal. That'll probably be their race. Let's take a look again at that last battle action there. So you'll see here, I think, because they both have a run. I think Soul doesn't want to try to make it work around the wall. I think he backs out of it. But Luke goes for it. And with the power of Margot Robbie, makes the move to the inside. And that is a big play, because with this lag cheese as well, we'll see how the race turns out, but that's a three driver pass right there, and Slaunch was starting back there as well, so it's going to be a couple pickups for him too. And the passes continue, maybe getting around Armada here as well. It's hard to tell because Luke and Armada's similar colors. I think Armada's got the red and black, Luke's got the red and white. So yeah, did get around Armada there. And it's going to be a big start. So Slaunch and Detail also finishing high up in that first moto. Pressure is going to be on from them because that was a big move. It made up a lot of track position, and they're going to have to try to respond quickly if they can. And let's see what they can do. Big runs down the front stretch, specifically for Detail here with a really big run.
Lap complete.
All right, so back in the race, having some issues with the recording, so I don't know if this is exactly the right spot or whatever, but this is where we're going to be resuming on the recording here, or in the video. So right there, not sure if that already happened yet, but a little incident there. Armada, Slaunch, and Detail battling very closely, losing a little bit of time there. Let me go on to this top 3 battle. Luke trying to have a look to the inside of Roman, maybe here for a moment, and then maybe letting off of it here. Yep, letting Roman have it. Roman having some pretty good gains. Luke back to the inside. Not going to be able to make the pass, though. Armada with a slow exit to the turn behind, so he's probably going to have some drivers really quick behind him. And then here comes Roman with a big run on Camby, but Camby is going to get a really nice exit to the corner. And Camby will run away with the lead there, but Roman maybe still a chance. If he can get a little bit of a dive here, he's going to go for it. And he does make it side by side. He does make it work. Roman side by side with Camby, fighting for the lead. Camby, a lot of good performances, but still winless on the season. Roman picking up one a while ago in the second round, trying to get another one here if he can. But a really nice 3-way battle for the lead early on here. Oh, and maybe a move through the inner loop, but Luke's going to be on the inside. Camby's going to have the preferred line here. But maybe a crossover as... Wow, Slaunch and Armada. Wow, that was a big swing there, too. Two really nice battles in the outer loop there. Let's see how they go into the end of the lap. Slaunch just trying to... Both drivers just trying to complete that pass, and maybe a 3-wide there for a moment, potentially. But the run and the exit for Camby comes in. Roman electing for the early pit strat. Noticed he likes to do this a lot. It's going to be a long one as we have a really good battle up front still. So now, oh wow, huge run for Slaunch. Gonna send it into the inner loop, I'd imagine. Try to complete this pass on Camby. Oh, going for it. Oh, it opens up the door for Armada. It opens up the door for Armada as well. But Camby fighting back. And he gets the run. He gets the exit. So Luke's going to be in the lead. Slaunch is now up to second. Camby third. And a pit for Soul there. Armada fourth.
Lap complete.
Big pit for Soul. A lot of time. Roman coming in for his second pit already. So Roman with the mega early pit strategy, he just wants to be done. He just wants to be done. He doesn't want to waste any time with that for the rest of the race. He just wants to get his pits out of the way. Move on with his race there. So through all that battle cheesing and all those passes and tight on-track action, it is now Luke and Slaunch up to first and second. But again, Camby and Armada. Oh, and a bit of a pile-up in the inner loop there for a moment. Detail and Soul. And Detail did take an early pit here, so he's going to lose some time off of that, but still a pretty decent gap. And of course, he's got the advantage with the overall taking the... Oh, I thought Slaunch may be going for a pit there, but maybe he thought about it, went against it, or maybe he just had a really inside exit there. I'm not sure, but almost looked like he was going to go for it. Not doing it yet. But yeah, this is definitely going to spice up the overall because with those early moves here, Detail's going to be way back. He obviously has that advantage from winning the first race, but it's going to be very difficult for him to make up this ground. Luke and Slaunch really quick in the first moto, and now with a lot of track position early on. But depending on where they finish with each other, that could also mix up the overall results as well. Camby having a nice run so far. Hopefully can keep it going. No lag cheese, you know, that would be nice. I'm thinking we might see an early pit come here. Let's take a look. Pay close attention. Nope, not yet. Still going to keep it on track. Maybe somebody going for it this lap.
Complete.
Tail staying out. Soul kind of looks like it. Yep, he's going in. I believe we saw him earlier. This should be a second pit. It's going to be a quick one. He's going to try to get out of the pits as quickly as he can. As you can see, interesting thing with that pit exit, it's not a shortcut. Oh, and look at how he comes out. Side by side. Side by side with, is it Roman here? It is. That was a sweet pit exit. That's what I was hoping to catch one of those at some point. Love when those happen. Side by side on-track battle because, again, pretty sure both of these drivers have completed both of their pits, both going for a very early pit strategy. And this is kind of not what they want to see. It's kind of unfortunate for them. They both go for an early pit strategy, probably trying to get some clean air off of that, and then they both end up right next to each other and going to be in a battle with each other, which is probably not exactly what they want. But it'll make it entertaining for us to watch, so that's nice. for their own points, it's not in their best interest, but for our spectating standpoint, it's pretty great. And especially from the points angle as well, as Soul and Roman, for whatever reason, feel like they're just always battling. It's Armada there in his pit. I feel like they're just always battling in the points and the hogs for whatever reason. I'd have to verify that, but I feel like the last couple seasons. It's just consistently they're really close with each other. And funnily enough, that's happening again here in IndyHog. And not only is it happening in the points, but it's also like on track, just neck and neck right now. And again, this position could be super important down the line because it's looking like they'll probably be competing with each other for those fourth and fifth place positions. Unless Camby could have something to say about it. The tough thing with Camby is the lagouts. The lagouts just absolutely have gutted Camby's season because I honestly think Camby would be there. I think it would be a three-way fourth, fifth, and sixth battle between Soul, Roman, and Camby. I mean, hell, Camby might have a freaking Moto win. You never know, like something. But certainly a lot of better finishes and probably a couple podiums, some top fives in there. Some pits coming out. That is, speaking of Camby, that's Camby there. Comes out right behind Detail. Detail probably happy to see that. That clean air will definitely help him out a bit. Camby probably not too happy. Or maybe he is happy about it. He's still got pretty good track position. That's got to be a pretty positive thing here. So I'm curious what it looks like now. So obviously some pits have come in. And I believe what happened here is Slaunch went for a very quick first pit. And I think it was the same scenario last race. Or at least they were different strategies. I don't know if it was the same different strategies. But either way, it was a similar scenario between them in the first race. I think Slaunch going for a quick pit here. Luke going for a long first pit. So it'll be interesting. It's a big gap. Slaunch with the lead now. But when they go in for that later pit, Luke will have a really quick few bullets, and Slaunch will have at least a reload and some bullets to do, I believe. So, oh, and what I was saying when those pit exits happened, this I like this pit road too because got one in. Camby going for a second. I like this pit road too because unlike Lafayette, so Lafayette was obviously like the full-on just aggressive shortcut, but this one is slower. Like it's still going to be a slower pit, but you do have a really nice shortcut on the exit, so you do gain a little bit at the end, and you kind of have the advantage. Like if you're going to be close with somebody battling on track, the person coming out of pit road might even have the advantage in that type of scenario coming into the next set of corners. And it could be close again. Speaking of how these guys like should be battling in the points with each other, could be close for them on track. Camby, Soul, Roman, all done with their pits, and look at this. This is what you love. They're all very close. They're gonna have some on track battle action here. Maybe pick up some more positions when other pits come in. But yeah, really nice to see that even though they've had different starting positions and very different races so far. Oh, wow. Oh, Roman's got to make it stick. Okay, there it went. Now, that is a line, because I've been talking about the different lines. You absolutely can send that final corner. You absolutely can, and you can keep your momentum off it as well. And it can be very quick. But the problem with that line, and I think why a lot of people are going to elect for the, like, just letting off there, in most cases, is just because it's more consistent. That send line on the last corner is pretty quick, but it's pretty hard to pull off. And when you get it wrong, the bog is absolutely brutal. But Roman being one of the drivers to say, screw it, I'm just going to go for it anyways. And if he was able to do it right there, it was going to be difficult because he had to go around the outside. But if he was able to do it right there, it would have paid off really well. But unfortunately, he was just a little bit off, had to keep it off the wall. Came in a little too hot, didn't quite have the angle, but he's really close to doing so. Camby going to have to defend here. Soul with a huge run. This is what I was talking about in the first moto. That outer loop being so important, carrying so much speed, and we're going to see it on track right there as Soul is going to make the pass, and some pits coming in as well. Was it Detail? I think Detail with this final pit there. So he's got quite a gap. He's going to come out well in front of this pack, which is he's going to be happy to see here. But he's still, it's going to be rough, man. That start from Luke and Slaunch was very good, so it's going to be tough for him to come back up to the front. So for him to get the overall, I think he's rooting for Slaunch to actually take this race with the way the first moto results worked out. So that's an interesting scenario up front. The overall battle could get very, very weird depending on how this race plays out. But yeah, that top three been very close in both motos, and this top three doing it as well. And again, you can see here Roman just hooking up that exit, and dude, it's deja vu. Different driver this time, but it's the same scenario. Roman pulling off like the exact same move that Soul did in like the same way on Camby. Gonna make the pass happen there. Sorry for the lazy camera work. My nose itched. All right, so Pit's closing. Pit's closing very shortly here. And I believe, like, it's going to be... yeah, I believe this is, like, last chance. So here we go. I think Luke and Slaunch... Well, actually, it's kind of hard to tell because the gap's opened up a little bit. I want to say Luke took his pit just a lap ago, or maybe at the start of this lap. I think Slaunch still has to take his, though. So we're going to see how this works out. This could be the lead battle here. Or rather, is going to be the lead battle for sure. We saw it early in the race. Let's see how it works out. Here we go. Slaunch, it's going to be going into 2 to go. He's going to make that last pit. And as you can see, yeah, a few bullets, but has to do the reload as well. And then get those extra bullets and then get back in the hog. He's done. And it's a big gap right now. But again, remember, it's a big advantage at the end of pit road. So he's going to get a lot of it back. He does. But there they go. Slaunch done with his pit. And when you look at that, it's like almost the same damn gap. Like, that's pretty crazy. It's like damn near the same gap that they had before the entire cycle worked out. So their times being very competitive and probably very back and forth this race. But Slaunch still has time. 2 laps to go for him to try to take this overall if he can, or at least take another moto win and take some more points would be really nice for him to do. But he's running out of time. We're already about halfway through this lap. Pretty awesome to see that we've had competitive battles for these top spots in both motos, even with the invert and everything. It's still working out that way. It's pretty nice to see some good action on this track. But yeah, running out of time. He's going to have to do some crazy moves and probably hope for a slight mistake as well. Let's see if it happens. White flag. 1 more lap for Luke at Watkins Glen. Slaunch going to be sending it here. Seeing if he can make up 3 or 4 hog lengths here at the end. And it is possible. And again, with a slight mistake too, it would be very, very possible. So pay close attention here and see if he can pull it off. Honestly, a pretty good start. It doesn't look like a huge gain, but I definitely think he's made up a little bit of time so far. Now, where he can make up a lot is here. This whole middle portion of the track. Let's see if he can do it. Try to get that angle. And he's making decent time, but I think time's just running out. Yeah, maybe lost a little bit on the exit there too. It's hard to say, but either way, that's going to be the finish. Especially with a crazy start to that Moto 2, but overall pretty good race. Luke going to take the win. Slaunch second. Detail will make it back to third. And these guys were duking it out for 4th, 5th, and 6th the entire race. Where do they finish? Soul will take 4th, Roman 5th. Camby in 6th this time. A few more drivers to come to the line. Here's Hunter. Gonna take 7th. And then Armada will be taking 8th, which of course means that that Real Deal will be taking 9th. So the results as they stand for the overall on the night, it's going to be Luke taking the overall with 32 points. Detail taking 2nd overall with 31. Very, very close, but that Moto 2 ended up being super important. And Slaunch taking 3rd with 29. So very close in that mix as well. Soul 4th, strong performance from him, 26 points here at Watkins Glen for Soul. Yeah, very nice night for him. Roman 5th with 24, Hunter 6th with 21. Can be in a tie there, 21 points as well. Armada 8th with 18, and Real Deal 9th with 16. Rounding out the field. So again, very close for the top 3, yet again. But this time, Luke's going to take it by 1 point. Detail just shy of taking another overall. And Slaunch very close in both motos. Probably in particular wishing he had that first one back. That the lap cheese, it'll be a what if, because the lapper Real Deal cheese. It would have been interesting. I'm curious how it would have went without that. It would have been very close. I mean, hell, it could have been a 3-way photo finish to the line. You never know. That would have been pretty sick. But either way, it was a good race. Happy with how the track turned out. Glad that we had some good battle action throughout both the motos and all worked out, even with the pit strats and stuff. Always cool to see. But yeah, it was a fun one. So next week, we're going to be heading over to the Midwest again for Iowa. And the quick preview that we got looking at the track layout looks like it'll be really competitive, and it's going to be a Triple Crown as well. So remember that. It's going to be the third Triple Crown on the season, second oval Triple Crown, I should say, but third Triple Crown on the season, the last one at an oval. And yeah, it'll be Iowa Speedway, Opix's first track coming into the schedule there. And yeah, the preview that we got, it looks like it'll be really competitive. Should be pretty good for like on-track battles. Like a Triple Crown race on Iowa could be, it could be one of those where like not a whole lot of moves are made because everybody ends up like in a damn near tie. Like I could see it being one of those where everybody's just like super competitive on the night and it evens out. But we'll have to see. Sometimes in the Triple Crowns, like one person breaks away and wins big. So it could be a big opportunity. Either way, it should be a fun track to race and fun track to watch. Because, yeah, the preview that we got, I think we should see some good battles there for sure. So I hope you guys tune in and show out for that. That'll be a fun one. That'll kick off November. We have a few races there, a couple ovals in Portland. Hope you enjoyed the Watkins Glen race action. And, yeah, see you in another week.